What you waiting for? It's time. Time for love. It's time. Time for the sun and sand. It's time. Time for fun. It's time. It's time. It's time to let your hair down. Come on. Come on. Come on. To have no fear. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's time. What you waiting for? It's time. 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 What you waiting for?
Cool. And this is going to be a blast. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to see how things turn out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Merv Britto Show. My name is Merv Britto, and welcome to a live broadcast of our show, wherever in the world you may be. Today on today's show, coming up on today's show, we're talking about another Goan sports prodigy, Mr. Ethan Vaz. The World Cup, and now we are in the knockout phase. I've got to talk about my favorite personality at the World Cup, Merlin the Duck. And on a more serious note, an unassuming winner of the Padma Shri Award, Mr. Muhammad Sharif, or as I call him, Sharif Chacha. That's a big deal. And this gentleman is an unassuming, obviously deserved person. I want to talk more about that. But first, these and a lot more provoking topics coming up. But first, let's get into saying hello to the gang that makes it all happen. Ladies and gentlemen, our team on the Merv Britto Show, the one and only Mr. Ajoy Barreto.
Willie, I miss you, man. I miss you. I'm ready to give this over to you whenever you get better. And happy Sunday to everybody. Welcome to the show.
Ajoy's on the one and twos. Because Willie's not well. Hey, I'm not feeling well. I won't be coming today. Wherever you are, Willie, if you're listening or not, we wish you all the best. Hope you feel better. Get well soon. Helping him out today on the one and twos is the voice you cannot mistake, Mr. Neil Rodrigues.
Hey guys, stay safe. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind. Get with that. Hey, how's the Josh? How's the Josh? We don't ask a whole lot of questions. We try and get on with it. Ladies and gentlemen, I always say the coffee in my tea, the best thing that ever happened to me.
Coffee in your tea?
The coffee, no, the sugar in my coffee. The best thing that ever happened to me on this God's green earth.
Oh my word.
The one and only. I don't need anything from you, sweetie. I'm just saying this. Preaching.
What's all that about?
Mrs. Joanne Barreto.
Hi, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. I have to say, I'm so disappointed that nobody invited Mervyn to their Saint-Jean party this week.
I did. I got a couple of invites.
I saw that you were waiting with your Budgie Smugglers in hand, ready to go jumping down a well or in a swimming pool.
Yeah, he was in his swimming shorts.
What happened?
Did you just say Budgie Smugglers, man?
Yeah.
It's a hell of a lot more than a budgie. Somebody walked by last night. No, I won't even get into the story, but no, they're not budgie smugglers, and that ain't a budgie, let me tell you, boy. It's enough to fill a pram. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Merv Britto Show. We're having a good time. We're having a good laugh. There's so much going on we want to get to. We do the show every week, live at 6 p.m., no matter where in the world you may be. It doesn't make a difference. You don't have to be Indian or Goan for that matter. Wherever in the world you may be, we try and put people together. We talk about topics that are fun, interesting, odd, and serious. This is the only live interactive broadcast show that we do from Goa, a place that we're very, very proud of and fond of. And things that are happening kind of make us shake our heads, scratch our heads, but they need to be spoken about so more people are aware of them. Wherever in the world you may be, like I said, even if you're not Indian, if you've got any connection to Goa, we want to make you aware of and talk about these things. Before I mention let's get into the social media handles. If you want to get in touch with us, it's important. He's got them on the screen right now. All our social media handles, wherever you get your social media from. The opinions expressed on our show are contentious at times, but they are our own opinions of people talking about them and not the expressed or implied opinions of the Merv Britto Show. We have to mention this because a lot of times people think that they're what's the word I'm looking for? This that we're trying to promote or there's ulterior motives, and we don't agendas. We talk about these things, but they are our own opinions, and that's what the show's all about. Have a good laugh, entertain, educate, make people know about them because they need to be spoken about. I mentioned this young kid, Ethan Vaz.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was interested in this because I think this is something that on the back of Yash.
There you go. I'm glad you mentioned that. Ladies and gentlemen, I had one of my favorite people. He was such a good kid, dude. And I call him a kid. He's a young man who's doing something so great, and he was kind enough and generous enough with his time.
Yeah.
Yash Fadte, if you're out there, you're watching, you're listening, or somebody tells you about it, you are a rock star.
I think he should be back in Spain now. I think he was planning on getting back and back into training and everything. So I think it was just lovely to spend time with him. So nice, really unassuming young man, extremely talented. He's obviously been brought up really, really well. And I can just see that he comes from such a lovely family, and at the end of the day, I just think he deserves all the luck in the world and all the support in the world that he really needs, because he and his family have really got him to where he is today.
In poker, you say all in.
Yes.
In poker, you shove your chips and you go all in, and that's what Dilip and the rest of the family, his mom, his brother. The thing about it is I was so glad that we actually got the opportunity, because that's what the show's all about. We do the show every Sunday, 6 p.m. live, and we try and make sure that we can get to as many people around the world, whether you're in North America or you're in New Zealand, Australia, wherever you may be. If you've got an Indian connection, this is the kind of stuff you need to talk about. We need to promote this kind of stuff. He's not paying us a penny. The reason we did this show is because we're always bitching, moaning, and whining, Joy, about the fact that we never have representation, not at the Olympics, at the World Cup, and any events. It's not like we got a bunch of duds. We don't have the talent here in Goa or in India. But why, with all the money that's being put away and the budgets, do we not, or are we not able to support these athletes? He's a young buck. He's a guy that's passionate. He's got a talent on a world stage. And the reels, Neil put out reels this week.
Yeah.
You wonder why we don't have people? Because they're not getting the support from our government, our officials, people that are tasked with helping these guys out. He shouldn't be worrying about finances.
No.
He should be focused on kicking ass and putting us on the world map. Goa, I'd love to see him on at the Olympics with the Indian flag.
Wouldn't that be something, right, Merv?
Absolutely.
And he's not far off, Ajoy. He's not far off.
He's got the passion for it, for sure.
The passion, the talent, and we've got athletes, Ajoy. We talk about them all the time. We've got football talent. We've got with this young kid, Ethan. We're going to talk about him in a second.
Yeah.
But all I wanted to say, Yash, thank you for coming on the show. You are going to go very far. We've got your back. We're going to talk about you. We're going to stay in touch with him.
Yeah.
But more importantly is to highlight this as a topic. And as Yash mentioned himself, there are so many people that are so talented that would love to represent this country on a world stage, on a world platform.
Yeah, absolutely.
So forget about sponsorship deals. Your government that has the money that is supposed to take care of you and let you focus on kicking butt and excelling and being the best in the world should be helping. How can we help you?
Well, do you know what? I would just also say that China obviously is absolutely massive in supporting their athletes. They have them in these training camps from like really young ages. So that like
around the world, Joe, and not just China, in the States too.
Yeah, I know. But the point is, obviously for them, it's really important how they project themselves and how they're seen on the global stage.
As it should be.
Whether it's in business, whether it's in sport or anything like that. So they in a good way, groom these young children so that they become professionals. You say, like in ping pong world, all of that kind of stuff. All of these, amazing sports that get, really showcased at these Olympics and these world events. And I just really feel that India's missing a trick, really, not actually having like sporting academies and really investing so much more.
Why? We asked this question, and that's exactly what the show's all about. We can't do much more. This is our way of giving back. Ajay, we've had long discussions, heated debates, discussions about the fact that we've got so much natural talent. Yeah. And why can't we count on our government, our public officials, these people that are supposed to be tasked with the sporting, the business, the development of your country? Like you said, Joanne, China spends a lot of money, and it's almost equivalent to the population, in ratio to the population. Yeah. They've got a huge contingency, a huge crowd of athletes that go and represent China on the world stage for the Olympics, right? We're always complaining about it, but we do nothing about it. And these officials have the capacities. Why are they officials if they're ineffective and they can't do what they're supposed to do to help people like Yash really excel and put us on the world stage?
I figured it out, If you want me to give you
Tell
an
me.
answer quickly?
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
I feel it comes down to just one thing.
Which is?
Actual patriotism, actual pride in the nation. I'll tell you why. Because China has figured out that, see, if you want to be recognized on the world stage, you have to be prove yourself intellectually, which they're doing he leaps and bounds. You have to prove yourself on a sporting arena, which they're doing. They give every Olympics, they give these big nations a run for their money.
Absolutely.
Okay. And number 3, they also realize the value of showing how disciplined a nation you are, which Japan and China also are. That's why you have they're very strict on keeping their cities clean. China was one of the worst countries when it came to pollution. Then they realized, hey, you know what? It doesn't look good on the world stage when we have such a big economy, and yet the pollution is so bad. Beijing's air pollution was worse than Delhi's at one point in time. Check it out now. It is much, much better because they've worked on it. They've realized the value of showcasing their country in the best light. And all of that comes down to love for the nation, love for your countrymen. If you had love and you had pride, you would support people like Yash. It's as simple as that, Merv.
You make a very good point. Patriotism is part of it, but I'm just saying to you, can I ask you a very simple, rhetorical, dumbass question? Do we not have the brains, the government officials have the brains to do their jobs?
We have the brains, but the brains are not the ones that are elected. And actually, the people with honest intentions are not the ones that are elected. And sadly, they are the ones that leave the country because they know that, the current state, it'll take some kind of a stratospheric event for us to change our minds immediately. This is a generational thing that we should have been working on since 1947, which unfortunately we've never been doing. That's the problem.
Beautiful segue, by the way. We're going to break there. Yes, we're behind you, mate. We got your back. We're going to be rooting for you no matter where in the world you are. And if anybody can help out, his name is Yash Fadte, spelled Fadte. Reach out to him on Instagram. But I'm so glad you're bringing up politics. Before I go any further, I'm so excited to mention our next guest for the next week's show. I've got to mention to you before we go any further, I can't generalize and say all politicians are bad, because they're not. It's annoying because we are in this mire, in this mess, in this pit, this cesspit. And Joanne, we get so frustrated because things don't change.
Yeah, can I just also say though, Mervyn, I think the world is in a huge mire regarding politics.
No, but they make the changes like he's saying. China's realized what the problems are, and their politicians, their leaders, their leader is getting him out, right?
But they're not a democracy. They're a slightly different setup and structure. There are different things you need to consider.
Does that make a difference?
I feel so, yeah, because at the end of the day, China, the way, they're structured and set up and organized, everything is dictated from the top down. So everything that happens across the country is basically because they've decided for that to be so, and they want to showcase themselves, as we said, globally, in all platforms, in all areas.
Why are we still here, though?
But the point I was making is regarding politics, and at the end of the day, in this social media environment, people are less and less patient about changes, about seeing good things happening, people actually putting good programs in place and passing great laws that are going to help their country members. But I'm referring to what's going on with Keir Starmer. He's really been hounded out of office, unfortunately.
I'm not a big fan of Keir Starmer.
But that's a different matter. You're not that involved in the politics. But the point is, people actually just don't understand what is going on behind the scenes. And it's just so many people are just making decisions from these sound bites and these clickbait things that are coming up on their feeds through social media. And it's not really from proper news outlets.
Can I tell you, where there's smoke, there's fire? I'm gonna oversimplify it. I agree with you 100%. Now things can be manipulated.
Yeah.
You can have AI generated everything, right?
Yeah.
You don't know what's real, what's fake. I understand that. Where there's smoke, there's fire. If you are actually doing your job,
Yeah.
and people want to verify and make sure that that you are doing your job, you can find all that information if you research it. Don't, a lot of times we keep saying if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
Don't follow what you're hearing or what people are pumping out. I can understand what you're saying. At the end of the day, if he was doing a good job, he'd be in power. Let me tell you, we've been in this mire, in this pig shit for a long, long time. And the young generation is so fed up, or people are so fed up of trying to change it because it's never going to change. I can't make a difference. I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to do this. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have the one and only mayor of Panjim, Rohit Monserrate. We're going to interview him. We're going to speak to him because all the stuff we're talking about today and now and forever is about politics. He's a new young politician who, the mayor of Panjim, who's doing things in Panjim that we need to talk about, good, bad, or ugly. We've had a couple people in politics on the show, but it would be a great opportunity, because we bag on so many other politicians, to have this young man who's doing what he's doing. He's out in the open, he's out in the public, and you get a chance to ask him the questions.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be like pre-rehearsed and all this built. It's going to be live recorded. And I'm going to ask him the tough questions. But he's doing a good job. I'm a fan. I think what he's doing is great. In the city of Panjim, he's like in a glass, like a glass, not a cage, but a tank. Everybody can see what's going on, right?
Okay.
I want to ask him, listen, in a place like India where we've got so much talent, why does Yash and people like Yash not get more help? He's a guy that can answer a lot of questions as the mayor.
Yeah.
Next week.
You've got sparkling smiles, both of you. It's just going to be a great smile off there.
It's going to be, but yeah, he's better looking because, well, I don't have hair, and I'm not afraid of it. He's a good cat, dude. I've known Rohit for a very, very long time. I've known his brother, who's also a really nice guy. But Rohit is out there in the spotlight. What they have done for Panjim is impressive. We're going to ask him questions, some of them very difficult, but he's been ballsy. He's been brave enough to say, you know what, throw it at me. I want to get out there.
Absolutely.
I want to, which I appreciate. I respect that.
No, that's the way to do it. You have to, hit these things head on, and you have to let people know what you're doing, because so much of what gets reported, and we try not to just report the negative stuff. We also try to highlight some of the positive stories within Goa, India, and the world. But you have to answer some of these tough questions in order for people to kind of, see, wow, yeah, he's really telling it like it is, as well as some of the difficult things that he's dealing with and some of the great initiatives that he's also spearheading.
It's a litmus test. It's a very simple answer. If you're not doing anything wrong, if you're not basically, you've got nothing to hide, get out there, right? And the fact that Rohit Monserrate will be on the show shows that, listen, I am accessible. I'm out here. If you've got questions, ask me. I'm happy to answer, which I love. Speaking of good causes, there's a youngster, and I mentioned him in the intro, Ethan Vaz.
Yeah.
Tell me about this. He's a Grandmaster at 14.
Yeah.
He's from Goa?
Yeah.
He's from Saligaon.
He's not. He's from Salset. What is it? Raya. He's from Raya, in fact. Yeah. So
he's 14 years old and he's the second youngest Grandmaster at 14. Tell me.
Yes, so I'll tell you. It says he's 14 years of age. He's 14 years, 9 months, and 27 days. He's achieved the Grandmaster title. So he's only second behind the brilliant Faustino Oro, who's been hailed as the Messi of chess.
How old is he?
So
this guy's a second, which is, listen, it's a feat in itself. Forget about it. He can be 25. But he's a Grandmaster at 14.
Absolutely. So the thing is, for me, I don't understand the chess, because basically it says to become a Grandmaster, you actually have to attain a ranking of 2,500 ELO points. That used to be a band when I was
ELO.
Electric Light Orchestra.
Hello.
And then you have to earn 3 norms. And so essentially he's achieved this in the summer chess tournament in Sarajevo. So he needed to earn 2.5 points and earn his last norm. And he's in fact done that, which is phenomenal at 14.
At 14 years old, dude.
Isn't that amazing?
What were you doing at 14?
Definitely not doing what Ethan was doing, and
you were chasing frogs in the field, weren't you?
Yeah, you know what? I'm so happy. But back in that day, we didn't even have those kind of opportunities, and I'm so happy that we do have some opportunities, but we're not capitalizing on the talent. It all comes with talent, and we have so much talent in the state.
Yeah.
From Yash to this boy, my
Yeah.
gosh, we just have to back them up, and they'll do us proud. I promise you that.
Sky's the limit, no?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit, no, Joy?
Yeah, absolutely.
You think about it, 14 years old. I can't remember. 14 years old, I was just awkward and strange. I was in boarding school. This kid's doing it on a world like if here again another going. And I hope. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna think positive. He's getting the support. I've got to give a big shout out. This kid, there he's on the screen. A big shout out to his parents. And I love the fact that our Indian parents, they push our kids. The Indian kids have to study, academics, blah blah blah. But it's nice to see somebody who's given an opportunity, for example, chess. Squash, it's not popular. You don't have chess games happening. Or India's, by the way, the country, I want to say, that invented chess. Ajay, am I right?
I think so. You may be right.
It's been around, but it's not that prevalent, right? So you've got to have parents. So a big shout out to Ethan's parents, the Mr. and Mrs. Voss, for giving him that opportunity. But this kid is phenomenal at 14, dude.
He's got a dream of becoming world champion, so he said he's going to continue to work on his chess. And he's actually the 96th Grandmaster in India.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh.
I mean, 14.
You know,
Can't
Merv,
believe it.
you know, there's a reason why we get world champions from Chennai.
Yeah, I got it.
Do you know what kind of a system they have there? They have
Did you say Chennai?
from Chennai.
Okay.
Chennai Madras, which was formerly Madras. Now they have an institution of teaching. They have institutions for teaching chess in that state. They take it so seriously, and they're so proud because a lot of the champions come from there, right? So it is part of the curriculum. So imagine you have this in Goa. We'd have more Ethans and more.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying, Joy, but about what China does. You actually have these people. You have things, the infrastructure and the setup, no?
Ask your sports minister. Does anybody know the name of our sports minister?
It's the CM. We've
I
said
think
that,
I think it's
haven't
the CM himself.
No, it's not Dr.
we? We've said
Sawan.
that before. I'm sure it is.
I was pissed off last week when somebody sent me a message. The education minister in India couldn't spell Sikkim. That's what pisses me off. But I'm saying to you, we've got a sports budget. Yes, Ethan Vaz, his parents, Yash, Fadte, Dilip, and his mother, whatever. Listen, guys, you've got the talent. A school in Chennai. These guys are in South India. They're so learned. They're so cultured. It's not. And listen. You're going to have to harvest. You're going to have to farm a whole generation to change that mindset. Education. Teach them well. Teach them young. They're like sponges, right? This kid is 14 years old.
Yeah.
But can you imagine if we had our own facility for chess to teach young people chess or tennis or badminton or any kind of extracurricular activities other than social media and you know?
Yeah.
You've got the talent. You've got to hone that talent. You've got to, and it takes a lot of work.
You know, Merv,
Yeah, Baba.
even if you don't have the infrastructure, I'm telling you, people should vote for me. I'm going to give you another idea.
Vote for you.
I'll tell you why. Vote for me to become the next super CM.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you, if in the United States, I think they give funding to institutions, educational institutions for sports, basis the sports program they have, right?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Why not have that here?
But that's the question I'm asking. Who's your sports minister? We should be asking. We need to ask your sports minister, what are the facilities? So 250 plus crores got spent, whatever, last year, this year, whatever. Where has that money been spent? On facilities that are falling apart? Why not on these youngsters? And have programs and look at Dr. Shyam Mukherjee Stadium. It's become a goddamn convention hall.
Yeah. I was going to ask about the Lucifonia Games and all of the investment around
It's
that.
all, okay, what is that called? All show and no go. It's all fur and no knickers. What do you say? How do you say it?
That's what
I
they
like that.
say.
That's Mark's favorite phrase. But the thing about it, just because of the Lucifonia Games, you build this facility. Why not let the public use it? You've got this guy now. Who's the guy here in Porvuri? The MLA in Porvuri. He's built this.
Rohan County.
Rohan County has built a beautiful sports facility. Love you, Mr. County. Don't know you, never met you. But I love this kind of stuff, right? So this is where you want kids to go and have a place, a safe place. Get away from your goddamn studies.
Yeah.
Get away from social media. Get away from your computers. Go and exercise. Play squash. Play basketball. Play badminton. Play soccer, futsal, tennis. Play chess. Have a crash. Whatever the case may be, you need the facilities, right?
Yeah.
So Rohan Kante has done it here. You want to ask our sports minister, what is your dream, your plan? How do you plan on making a change and doing your job properly to encourage other kids like Ethan at 14?
Yeah.
He needs the support. He needs the training. He needs the advanced level. Ajay, you got a couple of very good comments, by the way, about the Yash thing. We'll do that a little bit later.
Yeah.
There was another kid that mentioned that he's giving up.
Yes.
A football player, right?
Yes.
Am I throwing you off if I ask you to pull it up now?
We'll have to.
No, don't. We'll talk about it later. We'll come back to it. But I'm just saying, my last thing about this is it's not all politicians are bad. It's not all police and all. It frustrates us, and we say these things in a fit of rage or anger. There are very good politicians, very good people in power doing great jobs. I am questioning the ones that don't. And a simple thing is that if you know, you shouldn't be afraid to ask questions and point fingers or ask questions and expect answers. But if you know somebody's not doing their job, replace them. You need to hold that person responsible who's doing that job, and especially their boss. Why is their boss not stepping up and saying, hey, you're not performing. This needs to be done. You're an expert in your field. You've been hired. You've been voted. You've been put to run this institution. You're not doing a good enough job, mate. Wait, pull your socks up. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Merv, I got feedback after Yash's interview last week. A lot of people have contacted us, some anonymously, which obviously I can't reveal the name.
You mentioned that one to me.
Yeah, so there was one person who contacted me, a sports person, who said that they had received some kind of central grant from the government, the central government, but they had to go through the local MLA, and I think the local MLA was asking a part of that money.
Eh?
Can you imagine that?
Oh my word.
That's a sad state of affairs, dude. Are you serious? So somebody who's got money that's coming to them for a specific cause has to go through an official, and the official's trying to get a little bit of...
An official in Goa. Now again, I can't
Are you
reveal names,
serious?
but this is what was revealed to me. Can you imagine if that is true, how shocking and shameful it is as a state that we have to deny our youth because somebody wants a cut.
No, but that's what I want to ask Rohit, right? Rohit is a politician, a young politician. We're expecting change. Joshua and Mapsa, your guy Daniel Lobo and Pyro, all these guys are next generation politicians, right? You need a massive change in this country. And I'm talking about here and go, but you need a change in this country of this archaic, broken system. Yeah. If you need to pay and give a kickback to somebody, like Yash's dad said, I don't even bother anymore asking for money because I'll never see the damn thing. But this money has been usurped or put aside and spent on what? Where has it gone? Because we've paid for it, right? Why should a politician, any MLA or anybody expect a kickback to validate a request? That makes no sense, right? Mm-hmm. So how do you expect a poor kid with no football cleats and shoes and stuff like that to excel? You don't have to be rich, or you don't have to be a specific religion, race, creed, or caste to do well in sports, but you need officials that need to identify and say there's a real need, a crisis, and if my superiors or my junior can't do their jobs, replace them.
Merv?
Yeah, Baba.
You know what the irony is going to be? I have no doubt, judging from what I saw and heard of this amazing sports person named Yash Fadte, he's going to go places, he's going to win something for us. And you will have politicians lining up to call him and be a part of his...
Photo opportunities, Ajoy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Photo ops. Come and take a picture with me. Anywhere in the world, he'd be treated like a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you can't, and then the rest of the public bitches and moans, why don't we have somebody in the Olympics? You've got this here, and it's your politics that need to be held responsible for what's happening, because this guy needs all the support. Don't focus on the finances. Focus on practice and doing well. When you've got that big Indian flag being held up on the podium as you receive the gold medal, or the silver, or the bronze, at least you're an Indian that's representing your country. It's a step forward. You're moving in the right direction, representing your country on the world stage. But help make it happen now.
Yes, absolutely.
Can I just add to this story about Ethan?
Yes, indeed.
So there seems to be a little bit of a common thread. So apparently, because there weren't the kind of high-level players for Ethan to actually get his ranking and get his Grandmaster ranking, they were having to go to more tournaments in Europe and stuff. And so his dad is a software engineer, and they've had to rely on donors and sponsors and crowdfunding in order to get him to Europe, to get him to play these higher level tournaments. So there's a repetitive story now.
But Jaman, we're scratching the surface, my darling. This is not something that has been happening for years. I keep coming back to the story that Ajay pointed out to me. Somebody had messaged us. We had a bunch of messages come into the show after the Yash Fadte thing. We're not gaining anything. We're not getting anything anything. We're not promoting and selling anything.
Yeah.
We want to make the change. We want to be part of the solution and not the problem. I can't imagine how many gifted, talented people in Goa, in India, have gone by the wayside or moved or gone to other countries. Oh my God, we've got a Uruguayan player of Goan ancestry. Whoa. Great. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of his family. But why can't we have that here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why are we congratulating and talking up and building up these people that have gone origin some other place? You know there's a fundamental problem right here in this country, right? The money's there, it's not getting to them. There's a clog in the goddamn pipe in the drain and the money cannot filter down. And somebody between Ethan, Yash, and 100 more talented young people, this will never change unless the politicians change the system or politics change.
Yeah, I was just going to say that Maximiliano, actually, he did well with Uruguay. He actually got a really great goal, a huge equaliser.
He scored a goal?
Yeah.
He's from Saliga. Ajay,
Yeah.
Saliga mare to.
I think they're out now, but
Locally, boss.
he did well.
No,
Baba.
and guess who's from Lotoli? Me.
Are you locally?
Yeah.
You know you're not. You're Divarkar.
What's that?
Oi,
Are Baba, didn't I tell you my whole
where
story?
is Mr.
I told you my story of my great uncle who penned that the hymn that they sing in.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, dude. Ajay, you're
Don't
like
fake
me,
that
dude.
thing.
We claim wherever the wind blows, we claim to have it. Who was that hot-looking girl that was doing really the model? And I said she was not from Goa. She's not from Saliga. Anyway, all right, we digress. Speaking of travel and these poor people having to, not these poor people, but these people that are struggling because they're passionate about what they do and they really want to represent and make their country and fellow Indians proud.
Yeah.
Travel. They're supposed to be keeping the Dabolim Airport closed. Are we getting onto that? We're going to move on to this. Yeah, I want to know why.
They're not
because
closing it.
they were supposed to close Dabolim, no?
No, they're keeping it open.
It's
The flights are going to continue. So,
a military airport, Joe.
well, yeah, but also it's not just a military airport because it was Goa's sole airport for a long time, no?
Do we have any planes in our military, in our Air Force? How many kitle are there? They've got enough. I'm not going to bag on the Air Force. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Sorry. Go on. Tell me.
So basically, it's saying that the South Goan MP, Captain Horatio Fernandez, said that the Union Defence Minister, Rajnath Singh, has confirmed in a recent communication this month that flight operations at Dabolim Airport will continue as usual. So that's obviously good news for the people that work there, the airlines that are actually still travelling into there. So, and people, because I'm sure that there are people from across the border that, are south of Goa that probably also use the airport as well, because MOPA also can service people that are sort of on the north border also.
Why not have them both?
No,
Why don't always
have
a backup plan, right? Your MLA in South Goa, Viriato, was mentioning about. Listen, I think you need to keep them both. You always have a backup plan. God willing, something happens, and you need a backup plan. Plus, our military needs all the help. You've got a big, massive naval base in Nerul Reishmagos.
Yeah.
It is always helpful for the Air Force to have something here in Goa.
Yeah.
In every state, you got some kind of exposure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there's multiple airports around the country that have got military airports as well as civilian airports running in tandem in the same location.
Can I tell you, you always make me laugh, Ajo, and anybody who's flown into Dabolim will attest to this. I remember back in the day, dude, they would stop your airplane before it took off and they would let the traffic cross the runway, the tarmac.
Yeah.
Do you know all around the world at JFK and all these big goddamn air Heathrow and all, they've got a crew, a team that just goes up and down policing the airport, the runway, the tarmac for any loose debris, rocks, metal, debris, whatever, because it can do. You would have civilian traffic cross that. There was like a toll booth, dude. And I used to laugh about that.
I remember that.
You remember that?
Yes, of course.
It is a military airport, and that's the only reason why it stayed relatively usable. But I'm glad they're keeping it. Joanne, it is always good to have a backup plan, and I definitely want Dabolim because not just because of the military aspect, but it's always good to have, like, people closer to the south can go to Dabolim, people closer to the north.
Yeah. But it's also employment as well. It's actually keeping people employed. It's it's good for the economy as well. So that's really, really important, because we keep talking about AI taking over loads of jobs. You're still going to need people to be able to do these kinds of roles.
Yeah, okay, I understand. It's listen. It's more of the fact that you have a backup plan as opposed to just keeping people employed. Because I guarantee you, if you want to keep people employed, there's a shitload of jobs here in Goa. Forget about Dabolim. The place is filthy. You look at, I mentioned Sham Mukherjee Stadium, and all these government facilities, offices, and buildings where the toilets are filthy. You've got stacks and stacks and reams and closets full of paper everywhere. You could put a lot of people to work. Everybody wants a government job. I want a government job. I'm safe in the government job, right? But actually, you need superiors, people in charge of those offices, the leaders of these departments to actually say, we've got jobs we can have you do. It's the people beneath them, below them, that have to be able to oversee and make sure that the people under them in their teams are doing what they do. I don't agree with keeping Dabolim open just to keep people employed.
No, I'm not saying it's just for that. I'm just saying, it's an important part of the infrastructure and important for the economy as well to still have it there.
There was talk about the urban push, and Goa villages opposed the urban push. There was a victory in that aspect, wasn't it? People. What was the story? The story came up about the urban push. Tell me about it. It was interesting.
Well,
because it's a victory, basically, when you talk about the push and the victory, right?
Yeah.
People have opposed this and the illegal and unnecessary, just constant development.
Well,
not necessarily all for the best interest of Goa.
Yeah, so villages and panchayats and opposition parties have supposedly united against the government's plan to urbanise 56 villages. So that's a huge amount of villages across the state.
There were a lot of people pissed off.
Yeah, I'm not surprised though.
Why? What was the need? They've cancelled. They've scrapped this, right?
Well, apparently there's been a huge outcry, and it's talking about the unchecked construction across Goa and Goa losing its rural identity. So, hopefully this will remain a positive story in the fact that they've actually been able to kind of overturn it.
I'm glad that, because you don't need more development for fenin. For flip's sake, you don't need urbanization anymore. Listen, people love this place as it is. Stop trying to change it. It's like marrying somebody and trying to change them. Listen, mate, I've been trying to change you for, nah.
But then you just said I was the greatest wife ever, just almost at the top of the show.
I don't edit that out.
All I heard was
edit that out.
Coffee in my tea, and that was such a perfect analogy for what you guys have.
Coffee in my tea. Yeah, that they shouldn't be mixed together. That's what it's about.
Listen, sweetie, you compliment me. After 18 years of being married to you and having no hair left, and people ask me all the time, listen, how are you married to the greatest woman in the world? And I say, just ask her. She'll tell you. Joanne will tell you. Ask her. No. All right, never mind.
I won't get into it.
Don't get into it. I'm just saying to you, I'm so sick and tired of everybody trying to change this place, and it's always about the money. And that's another question I want to ask Rohit, right? Why are politicians into politics? Is it only because of the money? Do you really think that our local Goenkas want to urbanize and develop this place anymore and build? It's going like it's like it's becoming like a concrete jungle, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't want that.
So why not enhance and take care and better what you already have rather than trying to make it something else, right?
Yeah.
Why are you trying? This is Rohit's dad, dude.
Yeah, this is
Babush Monserrate.
So I think he has.
What does he have to do with this?
He's saying that they will now seek input from the village people, represented by the Panchayat.
YMCA.
Yeah, to
village people. I got it, Joe.
So they will get input now, and then they'll come up with policy. But I think this should have been done a long time ago, if you ask me.
So he's the revenue minister.
Yep.
Babush Monserrate.
That's right.
The point I'm trying to make is, don't change this goddamn place. Don't try to make it like another urban city. We don't need urbanization. Keep our coconut trees. Keep the fields green. Keep the place clean.
Yeah.
That could be a slogan.
More.
Keep the place green, keep the place.
It's Save Our Lands. It's hashtag Save Our Lands.
Joanna Perez, if you don't fix it, you're going to end up in the pig shit.
It's not all down to her though, but
Is it?
she's driving some great initiatives, and you know that.
Why do everybody seems to want to change this goddamn place? And you know what, sadly enough, I bet you money, there's a lot of us that don't. I guarantee you the majority don't want to change this place.
Mo.
We're happy and love Goa as it is.
Merv,
So-
I can only speak for myself when I say this. I understand that change is inevitable, right?
Sustainable change.
But we need sustainable change,
Yeah.
right? Right now, what development you're seeing is greedy development, corrupt
Yeah.
development.
And it only benefits a few people,
It only
Ajay.
benefits a few people. Now, for example, okay, you're building these high rises in villages. What? First of all, shouldn't you be thinking about the water infrastructure?
Yeah, of course.
But that's your ministers, right? That's your ministers are tasked in charge of that, right? So the proper planning and development. You said to me yourself, measure 50 times and cut once.
Yeah.
You want to implement smart meters, figure out all the goddamn hiccups and the bad things that are happening. Get a clear understanding, a crystal clear plan. If you want to develop and urbanize this place, what are the benefits? You're saying, Ajay, we're on the same page. We're vehemently arguing with each other, but at the end of the day, we're on the same page, no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why? Here, look on the screen. Benauli, another place. Why, boss? This is what made Goa special. Why should we let the people in charge, or the people with power, or the people with money,
Yeah.
bully the rest of us? Right? We have a voice. Goans are standing up in droves. Huge amounts of Goans are protesting. Right?
You know, Merv, I read in this week that before the monsoon started, there was acute trouble faced by farmers, rice farmers in Goa.
Yeah.
And it has now come to light that Salseth was the least affected. Why? Because there was not much development there, and people actually gave a shit about water harvesting. They planned for it, and as a result, the paddy cultivation in South Goa wasn't as badly affected as it was in the North Goa.
Who's the interior minister? You only got one interior minister who's tasked with this, right? North, south, east, west, it doesn't make a difference. He's tasked with the whole of Goa. And you're absolutely right to a degree, because they've developed less of South Goa. But why is North Goa being sold to the highest bidder? And why aren't you doing more harvesting? Why aren't you doing more things that enhance and beautify and clean this place, and not allow it to go down that slippery slope?
I was just going to say, I was just reading in this Herald article. So there's a former Sarpanch, Sidesh Bhagat, and he's essentially saying this is not real development for local villages, but a dangerous backdoor entry for mega projects.
Exactly.
High-rise buildings, concrete jungles, and outside commercial interests. The people want better roads, drainage, drinking water, and healthcare facilities, not policies that benefit builders.
Merv,
I'm so glad you said that. Sorry, Ajay, go on.
I would love Neil to pull out some information for me. I want to know how big Singapore is compared to Goa. Is it-
Oh, you can't, dude. You can't compare.
hang on, no.
Mate, don't do that.
No,
That's
once-
not cool.
No, I'll tell you why. Because if it's the same landmass as Singapore, then why the hell can't we do that?
Because it's run by Chinese. Because it's a lot smaller. Because people actually give a shit. Why did the goddamn Japanese fans of the World Cup stay after to clean up the garbage? Why in Meghalaya is such a different, it's like a different country. Why?
Okay.
So comparing apples and oranges doesn't make a difference. I don't agree with that.
Here's what it says on Google. It says Singapore covers only about 744 square kilometers, whereas Goa is 3,702 square kilometers. Now,
I joined that.
But that was swampland. Singapore was once swampland.
yes,
But they've got people with a vision. You've got leaders with a vision. People are actually in power who give a shit, who give a damn about making the country better, advancing it, right? And you don't have, that's what I'm saying, right? I drove through Arpora the other day. There's a fucking 5-story building in the heart of Arpora. A massive, like a mall, dude.
What?
I promise you, I swear to God. But this is why you need people. What is this? Karmali, Kolva. There's a huge flashpoint. There's protests. There's people standing up and they're winning, right? But it's only a few, and I said, and I'm not saying about all politicians, but there's only a few leaders or people in charge. And it's not only the federal government, like the big, this thing, I'm talking about local panchayats. I'm talking about MLAs and people here that have the power and control to stop this. You've got bodies that are tasked with making sure this doesn't happen. You had the Pilen Forum, by the way. The Pilen Forum was one of the strongest lobbies, one of the best bodies. Right is right and wrong is wrong. You couldn't do a damn thing wrong in Pilen. right?
Yeah.
And that's how it should be in your Goa government. Because when I drive in Arpora and I see these buildings, I swear to God, it was like a mall, Joanne, in the heart of Arpora. And there are buildings popping up like mushrooms everywhere in Arpora. But that's not what this village is about, or this state's about, right?
Well, no, obviously traditionally it hasn't been. I do find it really, really concerning. And I think also a lot of this, the Enough is Enough campaign, this is, this 39, is it 39A?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Land conversion.
So 39A, that is a major part of the 10-point plan, that they just want to make sure that, people aren't just stamping all over that and
There you go.
overturning it.
I'm glad you mentioned that. This is Enough is Enough.
Yeah.
A shout out to Enough's Enough. I think that's brilliant. You know what that is? That gives you hope. That actually gives you some kind of like making a wish come true. You got a chance of making something really, really happen. If Justice Rebello and these guys from the Enough's Enough movement, I hope they were a party that stands for election. Throw these a lot of the crookery and the bad stuff that's happening. Get rid of them, because they're not in their jobs for the good. You're talking about Singapore now. They're not doing their jobs just like a Singaporean or a Chinese or an Indian person in Singapore has that national pride, right? These guys are in for the wrong reasons. Justice Rebello and all come in here and they are pointing out glaring discrepancies, huge issues, gaping gaps and holes in the system where just a few people are able to manipulate the system.
Yeah.
Changing the rules and laws to benefit themselves, and 90% of Joe Schmo, you and me on the street, are getting screwed.
You know more
Sang.
simple policies, statewide policies.
Like free old monk, free fish curry rice. No, sorry.
We can do that after we inculcate these kind of state policies, like Singapore does. For example, if I'm not mistaken, Singapore has a policy that no citizen of theirs, or nobody who stays in Singapore, should not have access to a garden or a green space not more than 10 minutes from where they stay, or 100 meters from where they stay.
But that's
Amazing
smart, right?
policies.
That's smart, right? You've got greenery everywhere here in Goa. You've got greenery that's being destroyed. Trees are being cut, and coconut trees that line the roads are being cut, and do all this BS that's happening. But nobody's got that vision. You've got somebody, a leader who has to have the vision and the foresight to look into the future and make sure these things happen. Great. But I have to say about Singapore also, I don't like the stupid goddamn rule where I can't chew gum. F off, mate. Don't tell me. But be responsible. Like I'm saying in Japan, they clean after themselves. And Meghalaya, forget about any other goddamn country. Ajoy, let's talk about Meghalaya and a lot of these countries in the Northeast. By the way, they've got loads of athletes that really excel. God bless you. Athletes and musicians and people of so much talent in the Northeast, they don't get a fair share. In my opinion, they don't get a fair share. But I'm saying they take care of their surroundings. We did a piece on Meghalaya a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
So forget about Singapore and all these other places, Malaysia and all these other. This is our Goa. I don't want to see development beyond a certain point, a certain scope. Sustainable development. Yes, you have to have it, but the leaders have to be in the game for the right reasons. Speaking of which, we got to give some of these leaders and some of these politicians a shout out. Goa stays debt-free in Q1 in Q1.
Oh, wow.
That's an accomplishment. Donald Trump couldn't do that, mate. Despite borrowing 900 crores, the state remained debt-free in the first quarter, an unusual financial feat for any Indian state. Now, they deserve applause button. Can I play the applause button?
Yeah,
Is it
do
working?
it.
That's you know what? We're enough bagging. Let's talk about the good things, yeah? Despite planning to mobilize 900 crore through market borrowings during the first quarter in 2026-27 financial year, the Goa government did not raise a single rupee through the issuance of security bonds between April and June. According to the RBI indicative borrowing calendar, April to June 2026, Goa has proposed to borrow 200 crore in April, 400 crore in May, and 300 crore in June through state-developed SDLs. However, the RBI's monthly monetary calendar shows no bond issuance by Goa in any of the 3 months, with no further listening scheduled for June. Now, that is a feat. That is something you need to salute. Who is your goddamn finance minister in Goa? He needs a shout out, right? Is he tasked with it? Finance minister would be the guy?
Well, you would think so, but is this
Padre.
just kicking
CM,
the
the
can
CM.
down the road?
The
Is the CM?
yeah.
He can't be goddamn sports minister and finance minister.
Welcome to Goan
Are
politics.
you kidding me?
Yeah.
Ajo, you're pulling my leg. You're pulling my leg, and I'm bagging on the CM, dude. He's gonna put a hit out on me, dude.
He is the finance
He
minister.
cannot be the finance minister and the sports minister and the tourism minister.
He's not the
and
sports minister. He's not the sports minister. So sports minister is Ramesh Tawadkar, if I'm not mistaken.
Just now you said it's Pramod Sawant.
I said somebody else was.
देखो, फोड़ेगा
No, you
देखा?
said the sports minister a few weeks ago was the CM.
It's not the CM.
I was believing you. I
Who's
think.
the sports minister? Look it up for me.
Mate,
He
April
needs to
Fool
be.
It was.
Huh?
It must have told us on April the 1st.
No, but I want to know who the sports minister is because he really needs to sit up and take notice. Somebody needs to bring to his attention. Who is it?
Neil has just confirmed. It is Ramesh Tawadkar.
He should be ashamed of himself. I don't know who the gentleman is. I'm sure he's lovely, but he should be ashamed of himself because anybody that is tasked, that is in charge with making sure that your local talent, whatever the sport, whatever the gender, male, female, color, race, creed, caste, religion, this money you should not have to go through officials. Yes, you've got to be legal. You've got to do all the paperwork, blah, blah, blah. But you shouldn't have to pull teeth to get a loan to help you to succeed. And if you've got to pay a local MLA a kickback or a bribe to get this money that's coming to you that you should be able to be focusing on your sport.
Okay.
Right?
Google says that the chief minister is the home, finance, personnel, vigilance, and official language.
You're fucking kidding. This is a joke, dude. This is not true.
It's what Google says.
When does he have time to be the chief minister? Why do any ministers need multiple portfolios? You should be given portfolios based on your knowledge.
I tell you what, because we Indians are amazing. You know, we are geniuses, man.
Yeah, but don't be a goddamn genius. Just do. My mom always said to me, don't try and be a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Can you imagine if you had ADHD and you
Me?
and handling so many portfolios at one time? God help us.
I don't get it. I enjoy that. We're laughing about it, and it's sickening, dude. Why should any minister need multiple or more than one portfolio? Get a portfolio and excel. Show the world how great you are. If you're the tourism minister, that is an important role, by the way, in Goa.
Of course it is.
If you're the tourism minister, you want to make sure this place is put on an international public scale, on a stage. You're advertising the crap out of this place all over the world. You've got loads of tourists coming here, and they're happy, and they're going to tell other tourists about it. If you're the sports minister, start now investing in helping your local athletes in boys and girls clubs, in local whatever places, to excel on an international stage. You'd be made a big name off, no? They're wearing your shirt with your branding or your state or your government or your country or the sponsors, and they would thank you as a sports minister for making it happen. You'd be proud of it, yeah?
Of course.
Why do you need multiple portfolios?
Well, I don't know. Is it because they're not trusting people with these big jobs, or is it they don't want to share them around?
Remind me to ask Rohit that question next week. Mr. Monserrate, no, I'm not going to say it now, but I'm going to ask him that question. I'm going to sneak it up on him. I'm going to ask him, listen, why do we need to have multiple portfolios? By the way, whoever the finance minister is, kudos to you because you Q1 debt-free. That's huge. That's hard. That's not easy, dude.
No.
Balancing budgets and making sure you've got enough money and all. Like the States, in the U.S., they're just trillions and trillions in a debt, and they keep selling debt to these other countries.
35,000 crores minus Q1.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're saying that these kind of borrowings are typically utilized for capital expenditure and welfare, social welfare schemes. So does that mean they've cut back on some of those schemes because they haven't borrowed any money in order to support them? I don't know. I'm just posing the question.
I wouldn't know. Not a clue.
You know what?
Yeah.
Joanne, it's time you give up your citizenship and come to
Become
India. You could become Goa's version of Sonia Gandhi.
She'd become a virgin.
As if.
She'd become Goa's version, mate. That's a tall story, boy. I love her to bits. The best thing that ever happened to me. Ask her, she'll tell you. Whatever the case may be, we don't know the details. We need to talk about these. We entertain and educate people about what's going on, and it's our duty to be balanced. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Merv Britto Show, and we have no political affiliation or agenda, or we're not trying to promote anything. We're not selling you anything. Nobody's paying us. This is being done on our dime with the hard work of Ajo and Wilbert and Neil and Yusuf and Joanne and making this happen. But these are the things that you need to be talking about.
Yeah.
And you cannot be scared to ask questions
Yeah.
and demand answers. And people in Goa finally are protesting and winning when they're scrapping some of these harebrained schemes. But I have to say, I'm not a big fan of any minister. I don't care what party or affiliation. Why should you be a minister of multiple portfolios?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand that, but I kind of feel that Goa just gets a lot of mixed messages. I just feel that people don't really understand how the government is actually working for them, and any of the initiatives that are actually in place to benefit them, because there seems to be so many projects whereby people are having to protest around them in order to kind of get them stopped or get people to think twice, and you've got the Enough is Enough movement. But that's Joanne, I'm so glad you mentioned it. We've talked about the Enough is Enough movement. You really think it's going to make a difference? And I hope they do. I'm asking you stupid. I'm asking you a rhetorical question. I hope there's a lot of lobbying that happens. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, the thing is, sort of last year we were talking an awful lot about activists, and we were saying, if you're an activist, it's sort of a little bit of a dirty word. It's not being somebody that's just rabble rousing. It's actually people wanting to bring things to the public's attention. Hey, did you know about this? Isn't this something you might want to protest about or lobby for change with your local Panchayat level, and then going more onto the state level? Because like we've said before, people don't necessarily know how they can make a difference. But if there's enough people that just keep saying, what's going on? What can we do? Why can't we make changes? Why aren't we moving forward? Why aren't I benefiting? Isn't that something, if you kind of hearing that on a sustained level, people are going to have to sit up and take notice, and they are going to have to sort of listen to the Enough is Enough guys.
But it's strength in numbers, right?
Yeah.
Strength in numbers. You've got to get collective. People got to get involved. Get off your ass. Stop complaining. Stop bitching, moaning, and do something about it, right?
Yeah.
Why is the cockroach party all of a sudden become like world headlines, right? Because of one stupid, silly comment that a person in a high power made.
Yeah.
Everybody united, right? But what's the use? You got to take that forward. You got to move it forward, and that's my hope. That is my dream for Goa.
Yeah.
And the Enough is Enough movement with Justice Rebello. I don't know how many people are involved. I mean, like top level Enough's Enough movement people. I know the only name I know is Justice Rebello.
Yeah.
All I can say, guys, I don't know if you remember, we had a movement a long time ago, Goa Bachao Andolan, which is still existing. The group still
Goa
exists.
Bachao Abhiyan.
Abhiyan, sorry.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, yes, correct. I think either of us are either wrong or right. But at that time, it was a huge movement. People, and I say it's a people movement, I found people, who were armchair critics.
Always, I do. Keyboard warriors.
But coming out, they came out. Those guys were coming out and supporting this movement. And it essentially was against the regional plan of 2021, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And it was such a powerful movement that I felt the regional plan got scrapped because of that movement, yes. But the political change didn't happen, isn't the mindset didn't change, right? You need a political mindset change. So once that they said, okay, it's got scrapped, let's go. We are back to square one, back to the old ways of doing corrupt policies. Okay, and as a result, a lot of the problems that we're seeing today is because the regional plan 2021 was kept open-ended. People, so what everybody's doing now, the government is just relying on, the fact that, hey, if majority of people start doing illegality, eventually we'll have to regularize that, and that's exactly what's happening now.
But Ajoy, you've got two sides to every coin. You've got the yin and the yang. To all the bad that's happening, why don't you have enforcement departments, your collectors, your deputy collectors, and all these people in power questioning and asking and not letting things happen? Why would you come in? There's a phrase, right? I've forgotten the phrase.
Make where the sun shines?
No, sweetie.
Oh.
Don't ask for permission. Ask for forgiveness.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Can I say this to you? It's normal, common practice to do all the illegalities you want, and after a certain amount of time, they become regularized. They become normal, right?
Yeah.
You fight and fight and fight about it when the actual thing is happening, but it fizzles out. It goes away. You got all these mobsters and gangsters and people that commit crimes, and it's made a big deal. Oh my God, they got locked up. In a couple days, in a couple of weeks, and a couple of months later, somebody gets paid, blah, blah, blah. And these guys are out scot-free, right? You've only it's superficial, like putting lipstick on a pig. You talk about these and protest and make these changes happen while they're happening, right? What about when you want to make fundamental change? If I want to change the process, full stop, from the grassroots, from the ground up, young people get involved. We're talking about with Rohit Monserrate next week, right?
Yeah.
Him and all these young politicians. Guys, people are watching you, and people are savvy nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Social media.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think we should ask for people to ask some questions of Rohit also.
Yeah.
We should get them contacting us on our socials so that we can ask some viewer questions also.
Dude, I love the fact that he's agreed to be on the show and he wants to talk about what his dreams and ideas and all that. And this is exactly why we do the show. And we're talking about these exact same kind of things.
Yeah.
We've got to ask the tough questions. You can never be afraid to ask the hard questions. If ever you're afraid to ask a politician or a policeman and question what they're doing, there's something wrong with the system, right?
Yes.
But you will never change this place unless you have fundamental grassroots. In school, teach young people right from wrong, like they do in Meghalaya, like they do in Japan, like they do in all these other places. Don't reinvent the wheel. Just basically copy, modify, use what's going on around the world.
Take the blueprint.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but everybody wants to reinvent the wheel and start something from scratch. Oh, I'm going to develop a sky train. Oh, I'm going to build something. Mate, don't waste your money and time, because at the end of the day, you're trying to line your pockets.
I was just going to say, about not reinventing the wheel. I know we talked about China earlier. I went to a huge home and garden exhibition. I think it was in Frankfurt. And there was like about 5 exhibition halls worth of products on show. And there were these signs there, and they were essentially saying, nobody take photographs, because a lot of the Chinese people would go and they would just they take the photographs, and they were quite blatant about the fact that it was because of a lot of the Chinese contingents would go there and they're taking photographs, and then they're taking these ideas and then copying them.
Sweetie, you can't stop that. You can't.
No,
stop
I know,
that from
but
happening.
it's a trade show. It was a trade show.
You can't stop it from happening. It's going to happen no matter what. A Chinaman can go and buy an Indian guy. What do you think? Our Indians are much better.
I'm just telling what it was.
Take an Indian. No, I'm not. Listen, it happens all over the world where they go and buy a product. They'll take it and replicate it within a week. Cheaper and better and whatever. Yeah.
Merv, the greatest form of flattery is when you can copy something even better than the original.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. And I think the Chinese are amazing at that. You have guys who can actually replicate Van Gogh's painting in China.
They do.
Yeah, and you know what? Yes, they should not be doing that, but at the same time, that's amazing that they can do that.
They haven't been able to replicate the Taj Mahal, baby.
There you go. Good one. See, look, he speaks after all. He does have a goddamn voice, that son of a... Neil, that's a very good point, right? You've got so many talented and skilled people in this country.
Yeah.
And if you give him an opportunity to do this thing... Souza, I used Souza. I showed Ajoy a picture of Souza's painting on DTR wall the other day. In Panjim, we see 2 or 3.
Yeah,
You've got the talent. You've got the talent here in India. It's just not being used.
Yeah.
And it's a damn shame, because all we do and all we keep barking on about here on the show is we just want to see the change in the right direction. We love this place. Ladies and gentlemen, we love what we do. You're tuned into the Merv Britto Show. I hope you're enjoying what we're doing right now. You're watching us, and the opinions expressed on the show are our own opinions and not the expressed or implied opinions of the Merv Britto Show. In general, it doesn't make a difference what we're talking about. It's coming from a good place, and we're not talking down or bad to anybody. We're always trying to highlight things, good and bad, and we talk about a lot of good things that we're doing here in India. But sadly, it's the odd and the strange and the things that just blow your mind, shake your head, that we need to talk about and have people made aware of these things.
Yeah.
If you don't talk about it and you don't ask questions, you've got problems.
Yes, of course.
Why are you looking at me with such gaze, Waves? You're liking what?
No, because we were talking about art. I thought we were going to talk about the new installation in Porvory.
Which one?
The new waterfall.
No, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
You know
what I do want to talk. Yeah, sorry.
But I want to say one thing though. We have to thank these people of Korjueng who apparently did this ancient and old
rain ritual.
And we got rains after that. So thank you guys.
Brilliant,
I think this is an amazing. First, the fact that we have such.
Shut up! You're pulling my leg now.
People
What,
do
like a
these
rain
things.
dance?
No,
Like a rain dance, like the Indian, like the American Indians. used to.
Apparently, they have this old tradition that if you're wanting rain, you have to march towards. I think where were they marching, Neil?
A bar.
No, they can march to any Saint Anthony's church.
Church
With
and with a
stones.
stone on their head.
Oh,
So they did this, and lo and behold, we've been getting rains.
wow.
I'd like to put a stone on your
Actually,
goddamn head. It's not going to make it rain any faster, is it?
No, since the monsoons have been delayed, all the religions have been praying. The Catholics do this tradition. The Hindus have been praying. The Muslims have been praying. All came together and had prayers, and then the rain started.
But that's a
Right.
good story, no? That's a good story because you're bringing religions together to
unity.
save a country, to save a state. But the rains normally would have happened a lot sooner. We've had a storm that gave us a false sense of the monsoon starting, but they've actually started now.
And I read just now that apparently there's forecast that the rains will depreciate soon again. So it's not been a normal monsoon. It's a scary thought to know that. I pray that never happens. I pray that we do get normal rains.
Yeah.
But
Tell
you know,
Donald Trump he doesn't believe in climate change.
No, but it's
You
El
tell them.
Nino. It's the El Nino.
That goddamn Mexican again. That El Nino. People don't understand that joke, dude.
check this out, Merv. Check
What is
this out.
this? The rain prayer. Procession held at Kurjo. Hey, Fator Gatla Maratokli.
Yeah.
Ye? Auntie Galuna, Auntie Galuna.
I tell you what, no, nothing to be funny about. I think that is very, it's an analogy of what we have to we have to basically ask for nature's forgiveness for what
Are
we've
you
done.
kidding me?
Yeah, I think
Are you
that's,
kidding me? Put a rock on your head and walk down the street and you're going to get rain.
At least you people realize that, hey, you know what, we messed with nature and now it's biting back.
You laugh at me, I'll throw this fucking stone at you. That's
Hey, stop that.
Sorry, I didn't mean that. Sorry, that came out. Listen, to each his own. But why? You've got technology. You've got so many things to be. I don't want to get it. It's a sticky thing. But Joanne, I don't believe in all this hocus pocus stuff.
I know you don't,
And I
but-
love our goings, and I love San Joao, and I love all these functions and feasts. But walking down the street, I don't care who you are, what religion you are, with a stone on your head,
Yeah.
is not going to make it rain.
Mervyn, you do not know. It could be the power of the prayer. It could be the power of the
Yes.
positivity that people are putting out there into the universe.
Okay, sorry, you mentioned the power of prayer. I do believe in the power of prayer. I nobody will touch my mother and my faith, the faith that I have. So it's not about religion. I'm not bagging on anything. The power of prayer can make it rain. The power of prayer can accomplish anything.
Yes.
I'm talking about the visual of somebody walking down the road with a rock on your head or a stone on your head.
Okay.
Are they praying? That's a different story.
Have you
but if
ever
you're walking down the road with a rock on your flipping head, man.
Have you ever gone to a pilgrimage to Velankani or to
No.
yeah,
Yeah,
people
you
walk
do.
on their
Never been.
knees, right?
No,
People
I
walk
don't.
on their knees, don't
But
they?
that's dedication, mate.
So this is dedication in another
That's
form.
not with a rock on your head.
Why not? What's the difference?
I will get Dukota Fato Tokli Galo fucking Dukto, no?
Listen, boss. You
I'm
may
not bagging anybody's faith.
You're
It's
bagging
not.
on them.
No, I'm not. I'm not. It is not religious. Is it religious?
It is religious.
Is it religious?
Very much so.
Okay. Sorry. Take it back. Delete all of this from the show. We're not talking about this. I wasn't trying to back. I'm a Catholic. I'm a proud Catholic, and I say I have got oodles of faith thanks to my mother. I was talking specifically about the rock on your head. I didn't realize they were praying, but Neil mentioned it's different religions, right? But all of them have a rock on your flipping head. Say all the prayers you want.
No, all don't.
No. They're doing different things.
Speaking of rocks, there was something really, really sad that we do need to bring religions and castes and creeds and everybody together with. There was an earthquake in Venezuela, dude.
Oh, gosh.
You know, we've been blessed. We've been lucky. We haven't had any kind of real bad. You talked about the monsoons being delayed, the heat, the gas, the Suez Canal. No, not the Suez. What is it? The Straits of Hormuz
Straits
and all
of
these goddamn
Hormuz.
problems.
Yeah.
These poor people in Venezuela had a massive earthquake. Buildings collapsed. A lot of people lose their lives. You know, it made me think. Ajay, what do you think would happen if we had a disaster here in India?
It would be it would be doubly disastrous. It did have a very bad earthquake in Gujarat some time back. You know, it was horrible.
That's what scares me. And I'll mention two things, right? We had that airplane crash, that Air India plane crash in Delhi, right? So these are not natural. These are accidents, right?
Yeah.
I laugh a lot of times because I see these guys at the airport in these the military guys in the airports behind these sand bunkers with guns. And I laugh because I see these guys with guns being escorting these money carrier vehicles with these pistols, these old antique archaic flipping rifles, 2.2s that are probably rusted barrels.
Yeah.
You need to bring us into the 21st century. What would happen if we actually had an attack, or we actually had an earthquake, or we actually had a flood? Our systems, we laughed about that boat, poor lady jumped off the bridge, and we never heard anything about it. But all the boats that are on standby by the Marine Authority, by the Marine Police, not even fueled, probably not even running. You've got these guys with archaic weaponry and artillery and tools.
Yeah.
If, God willing, something bad like this poor Venezuela earthquake happened, we'd be screwed, dude.
I know it's.
Who's in charge of this department? I don't know what it's, Homeland or whatever it is, that would be tasked with saving lives and digging. You need earth movers. You need infrastructure. You need emergency vehicles. You need medical facilities.
Of course, I mean, there's.
Have you ever seen GMC Hospital? And it's a mess, right? So if you did have an emergency, how are you going to react? Bless these people. Say a lot of thoughts and prayers for the people that have lost their lives and are still missing. But I'm just thinking, it makes you think about what happens here in Goa, dude.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, this Venezuela earthquake, obviously there's people scrambling from around the world to try and assist, because it was 2 earthquakes almost back to back. And so the latest numbers are that the death toll has reached at least like 1,430, and there's still thousands of people missing. They're just trying to go through the rubble with their bare hands, just trying to see whether there's
save their loved ones.
Any survivors. I mean, it's absolutely horrendous. And the thing is, I don't know like what kind of emergency drills are carried out here on a local level for just checking how the facilities, how the infrastructure of the ambulance service, the medical facilities, how they would all be integrated and work together, and run these kind of they run these drills. I mean, I've seen them, a lot of these.
Sweetie, you've got an alarm system. Amit had it go off in the office the other day, a couple of weeks ago, where it's a federal system. It's like an emergency where they test a broadcast system. They've got it around the world, like tsunami warnings, earthquake warnings.
Yeah, I had it in the UK when I was broadcasting from there when I was on the show, and I got an SMS text, and it was a drill. It was literally, this is the drill. It was at 3:00 on a Sunday afternoon in the UK.
We actually had that. I think it's a part of the Amber Alert, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And I think we are integrating this now in India, where you can have all your alarm phones your phones will go off in unison if there's a national emergency. I saw this video which I was like amazed by, Merv. It was shot apparently in Japan. It was shot by, I think, American who was in Japan. And their technology is so amazing.
What do you mean? What was it about?
Okay, so they do a countdown. Their phones go off. Talking about these phones,
like for tsunamis.
Yeah, so the phones, they basically, the government has the ability to take control of all your phones and broadcast a message at one time. Okay, and in that message, it tells you the tsunami is going to hit your spot in 10, 9, 8, and when it hits 0, then you start feeling the tremors. Can you imagine?
But India's invested heavily in these reporting systems. What do they call these? Seismic alert systems, alarm systems, seismic technology underwater, so they can detect earthquakes and tsunamis and blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. They've got the infrastructure. I'm just saying to you, this earthquake hit Venezuela. I'm talking about on land. If something, God willing, it never happens, but if something happened, whatever the emergency may be. I hope we've got plans and backup plans and backup of backup plans.
Yeah.
So that people can survive and help each other, and people from around the world could potentially come and help us.
Yeah.
But can you imagine having no electricity for days on end?
Yeah.
No water, no running water, no this, no that, the other. These poor people have to go through this in Venezuela. But it just made me think, because I see so much of this old, antique, outdated technology, and you got ministers that are tasked with multiple portfolios. Whoever's tasked with making sure that the emergency systems, the emergency response, your hospitals, your ambulances, your police, your whatever the case may be, in the event of emergency, you can save lives.
Yeah, well, actually, we've just had a power cut now. I'm just thinking of that because obviously
The
here
electricity's gone off right now.
yeah, I just heard the beep of the batteries going
Okay.
for the inverters to kick in. But there's a lot of places around the world that they don't actually have to have power backup and stuff like that. I mean, for me, in the UK, you used to get power cuts every now and again, but nobody's got a power backup necessarily, obviously.
Because it doesn't last that long.
Hospitals and stuff like that would, of course, have to have that. But it's a way of life here. So in that sense, India and Goa have to be very organized, and if you want to have your business operational and you need to make sure that everything keeps running even if the electricity goes off, you've got to get sorted out on that level. However, I really feel if there was a real national emergency or natural disaster, I would really fear that I don't think we'd be set up for
I
it
think we
here.
do have a national disaster management department, if I'm not mistaken. We do have it, but
Have you ever seen it?
uh,
You're talking about it. Have you heard about it? Have you ever seen it?
we do see them when there are flooding. You have these teams come up, but if I don't know if we can handle a huge event, and God, let's pray that never happens. But you have to be prepared, Mo. Yes,
You have to be prepared. You can barely get your goddamn garbage collected.
that's also there.
So that's the point. Anyway, I'm just mentioning that because a lot of people have lost their lives, and hopefully it never happens.
The
Sang.
the dictator of Venezuela survived this because he's in a US jail.
It's true.
Can you? Yeah, absolutely. Donald went over and took him away. He's not a saint either. Don't whatever. I'm not even going to get into it. Ajoy, I was just saying this because these kind of things need to be talked about. These things need to be spoken about. Don't wait till it happens. You got to prepare and make sure that you have. We love shiny and new. Nobody wants to maintain and upkeep and make sure and test and load test and emergency drills and all this kind of stuff happens. And that's what scares me. Okay, enough of the Debbie Downer. Let's talk about something. Can we talk about the World Cup? Let's talk about something fun, dude. The World Cup. We're in the final. Well, not the final. What's it called?
Well, no,
Knockout.
it's now the knockout phase.
How's England doing?
So England have gone through. They were top of their group. So they're going to be playing the Democratic Republic of Congo, who were one of the third place teams that actually qualified. So there's 16 teams that have gone home. And there's
Stop.
Stop. Okay.
How is India doing?
Yeah, okay.
Ajoy, why are y'all showing this? Is India on this goddamn map? I see every other country. I don't see India on this map.
Which World Cup are you talking about, Mo?
Oh my God. I'm not going to get it. Okay. 48 teams. They've expanded it to 48 teams.
There was 48 teams.
Now with the knockout,
Yeah.
how many do you get down? You
So
have?
now it's
24?
down. Now it's down to 32. So because it's expanded, it's now gone. Instead of normally this phase would be the round of 16, it's in fact the round of 32. So
Still a lot of teams, sweetie.
yeah. So unfortunately, there's like 16 teams that are now out. So sadly, Scotland didn't make it. Uruguay didn't make it, even though they had Maximiliano, who had actually made some headlines and stuff like that. So. Turkey, who are a really strong team, they're also out. Iran is out too, so's New Zealand. So, I've got my World Cup. You see this? Let
me see it.
See this?
CD, what's that all about?
See this?
For all my office team, this is our football pool in the office, and our office downstairs at Infinite. This is for all our guys.
So I've been filling it in so we can see here.
Stop giving away all my ideas.
Here, see here, the yellow going down. Now we've got all of the teams in the round of 32. So I have to say, I'm quite happy that England are now playing the Democratic Republic of Congo in the next round. It was nearly going to be Senegal.
I to all the viewers out there, if you guys think you can take Joanne on
That's
when
true.
it comes
come
to
on.
football knowledge, call in and test yourself out, because trust me, Joanne knows her
She
stuff.
knows her stuff. You're absolutely right. The only one who'll give her a run for her money is Mark Seagrave.
I'm very interested in it. I'm not a pundit. I'm not one of these people that understands left back, right back, the midfielders. You need one of these in and that in. I'll listen to it. I'll watch it. I'm loving watching.
But you're into it, sweetie.
The rest is football. See, what I do is my ritual is I'll watch the highlights of each of the matches. Then I watch The Rest is Football on Netflix, which is Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer, and
Mark Seagraves.
and Micah. No, Mark's not on it as it stands right now. But I'm absolutely loving it. But the great thing is, now that it's being expanded, you have got these third place teams that have gone through. So as I said, Democratic Republic of Congo is one of those third place teams. So there's 8 of them. So Sweden have gone through to Ecuador, Ghana, Bosnia, Algeria, Paraguay, and Senegal. So it's great to see they haven't just had to go home.
Can I tell you 2 things about the World Cup that stick out to me the most? One thing pisses me off and one thing makes me very happy. Which one you want first?
What doesn't make you happy?
I hate the fact that the games are so damn late. And you keep staying up late and disturbing me in bed, and it's like a disco in my room. It's a shame, Joy, because it's been really expensive for the poor people that actually had to go. And the games are on so late, dude.
I take my hats off to Joanne. The fact that she gets
Joanne!
up. Wait, hang on, yeah.
What?
Shame on you as a goer. You should be more into football than Joanne is. But actually, she's an English woman, so she would actually be more into football.
Of course.
But the fact that she gets, first of all, she works very hard in the day. But she gets up at 2:30 or whatever, 5 o'clock in the morning to watch a game. Man, you got to be
She gets up and watches every England, Scotland, whatever game. Can I tell you who's even more superb than Joanne is her husband, because he puts up with that. She might put on a pair of AirPods and watch it on the screen, but at the end of the day, it's in my bedroom and I put up with it.
Actually, I watched Scotland and Brazil out here in the studio on my laptop. In fact, I didn't even disturb you. You got up and went, "Oh, what are you doing?"
Guys,
I went, "I'm watching Scotland, Brazil."
I propose we do a watch party during that time with Joanne Britto. Let's have a special show.
I'd love to do a show at a bar, like one of the big games at a bar where we're all there and we're all drinking and I have to have the good snacks and watch a game. That is what part of the World Cup that makes me really, really happy, puts me in a good place. I used to love to hang out, to watch a really nice game with a bunch of people, drink, food, snacks, whatever the case may be. And it's really annoying because these games are so late because of the time zones.
Do you know what, for me, sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say the thing that makes me happy. No, before I get to my happy thing, go and say what you're saying.
No, all I was going to say was, for me, when I used to work at the BBC and we used to do client entertainment and stuff like that, and we'd take our clients out, like advertising agencies and clients.
On the BBC's dime.
No. I worked for BBC Worldwide, so we were generating revenue anyway. But when we used to do those kind of things, we used to, the Euros, the World Cup, all of those kind of things, whenever it was any England match, any of the home nations playing, then we'd do this kind of thing. And it was always great fun to be in like a huge crowd to do it and enjoy it together. However, right now, since I've been here, I just like to watch it on my own because I don't want somebody just trying to distract me, talking to me, asking me questions, and then I can't focus on watching the football.
Oh my God.
I thought Merv would go to Guadalajara to watch
Mexico.
I've been to the Azteca Stadium. I've told you that.
For the food and the birds.
Apparently that...
For Mexican food and Mexican women, baby. You can put me anywhere in Mexico. Go on.
Apparently, there is another competition that has come up as a side quest for the World Cup, which is a competition of food between these countries, which is amazing. Canada, the US, and South America.
Can I tell you, Ajay?
Oh, yes, exactly.
Can I tell you, there's so much beautiful food around these countries. And it's not necessarily the expensive, the fancy stuff, but there's snacks. Yeah. Like, for example, in Mexico, in the States, all the local whatever. There's so much great stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
But it's such a shame because it gets overshadowed by these exorbitant prices that they're being charged. And it's a game for the masses, for the common man.
Yeah.
And when you're spending an arm and a leg, people are spending lakhs and crores, selling houses, doing all this BS.
Yeah.
It's a shame. Yes.
They were actually complaining about most of the complaints are coming out of the US, especially when fans go to the restaurants. They have to pay exorbitant prices in total when it comes to when you include the tips. So they were like, even the English fans were like ruining the fact that they had to spend so much.
15%, Jackson.
But
10 to 15% on a tip.
Yeah, I was going to say, but there was one guy, a Scottish fan, who actually had remortgaged his house to release money so he could actually go there for the World Cup. But I was going to say, I wanted to come back to the Scottish fans, but on the Rest is Football the other night, Gordon Ramsay was actually a guest, and they were saying what would be in the finals if you were choosing like the cuisine of different nations. And Alan Shearer, who's a real hero of mine, he's a Newcastle player and he was fantastic for England too. They said, sorry, Alan, India aren't playing, because obviously he was wanting to choose curry. So he said, yeah, of course, it would have been, I would have had.
Go to Birmingham. How do you say Birmingham? Like a Brahmi. Birmingham? You never got back to asking me what's my favorite thing about the goddamn World Cup. The bad thing is it's too expensive and it's too the time zone. The best thing about the World Cup is my buddy Merlin. Not to be confused with Mervin. I'm not a duck. How cute is Merlin the Duck? By the way, we're going to get into Merlin. I want to talk about Merlin. What happened about that who was the little dude at the zoo in Japan? My buddy. The little monkey.
Oh, Punch.
Punch the monkey.
Yeah.
This is another Punch. Check out Merlin the goddamn duck.
Yeah.
How cool is that? This is because, dude, the duck got to meet Scheinbaum.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this duck. I mean, it's phenomenal. And people in the streets of Mexico have been going absolutely crazy for this duck. Because one thing I was going to say was when the World Cup first kicked off, we were talking about the mascots and stuff. And I think one of our videos got banned because we had the mascots in there and they were trademarked. But the point is, what I was going to say was there's been a huge absence because there's 3 official mascots in the World Cup and you're not even seeing them in the stadiums. They're only there really for the memorabilia, probably.
To promote to some money.
Absolutely right.
For the money. But you're not seeing them. You're not seeing any of the mascots jumping around or anything cheering in the stadiums or anything like that. But so what is lovely is that this duck has actually been an online phenomenon. And they haven't allowed him actually into the stadium itself. I think they only let him to be on the perimeter or something.
Screw the stadium. This duck was hanging out with Claudia Scheinbaum.
They recognized competition, didn't they?
I think so. Seriously.
What would happen if that duck was walking the streets in India, dude, if it became a mascot or a duck or a chicken and it'd be a kebab, no?
Yeah.
It wouldn't stand a flipping chance. That duck is proudly parading around in Mexico, and it's so cute. It's really lovely. It's a touching story.
Pretty cute, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember Paul the octopus?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
those
know?
ones that predict.
Well, you're talking about the predictor, right?
Yes.
He was 8 out of 8 or 10 out of 10, dude.
Yeah? Wow.
He was amazing. That octopus predicted 8 out of 8, 100% of the matches that they gave him choices. They would. Yeah,
I would pay for anything to get that octopus and take him to one of our casinos here.
He's dead, bro.
I know.
He has his own tomb.
I know, but I'm
Memorial.
saying if.
Speaking of the World Cup, I wanted to talk about something that we've been banging home about all the time about the cleanliness. I love the fact that the Japanese fans stayed behind after every time that they played, right?
Any match that they played.
Helped clean the stadium, dude.
Yeah.
Why would you ever see that here in India?
Well, you wouldn't see that here, but I was going to say that one of the really amazing things about this World Cup actually have been the fan stories. I think that's been something that, people are talking so much about that. And I love the fact that, it is ingrained in their culture and they will do it. And I love that. And it's actually, let's lead by example. Like we do say many times, be the change you want to see. But let's, why can't people do more of that here?
How cool is this, dude? How effing cool is this? This is what makes a country stand out, and people talk about these kind of things. They're not being paid to do this. They don't have to do this, but their government, their officials have done this and trained them and taught them.
Yeah.
And from a very young age, the Japanese school kids clean before and after.
Yeah.
They come in on weekends. They're proud of their space.
Yeah.
They take care of it like it's their home. Their parents help. The teachers help. But the kids are taught from a young age to do this.
Yeah.
Can you imagine coming to a World Cup game and staying behind and help cleaning?
I know.
There's so many great stories, Joanne, about the World Cup, dude.
Yeah, there are. And obviously with Cape Verde, it's a tiny, tiny island and they've made it through to the second round. So their goalkeeper, he's 40 years old. And we were talking about it last week that his mum didn't actually have a visa. Now she's actually come and she's seen him playing in the World Cup. And it was actually, he kept a clean sheet against Spain. They had that 0-0 draw. I think I'd kind of got a little bit mixed up when I was explaining last week.
Yeah.
But they've made it into the second round. I mean, can you...
Cape Verde is like a little dot on the map.
Yeah, can you believe it?
The wives of those Japanese men who were clean the stadium after they win over Tunisia, you know what they were saying?
What? The wives of the men that were cleaning, why don't they do this at home or something?
They were saying, do it at home as well.
Shut up. No, but that's a joke. What I'm saying to you, Japanese people in general, even on the subway and all, they're very proud of their surroundings.
Yeah.
They're very particular about garbage, litter, making a mess, or whatever the case may be. And it's been taught to them in school at a young age.
Yeah.
Other stories.
But
Egypt, they end a 92-year wait.
yeah.
Algeria. These are impressive things, no?
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously, Egypt actually hadn't been to the World Cup for, I think, was it their first or this is their second time they've made
First ever World Cup tournament victory against New Zealand.
Yeah. So, that's obviously amazing. But what I was going to say was I had mentioned about the Scottish fans and I said I'd just come back to it. They really have been the champions of the tournament itself.
Why?
Because they've got the tartan army. It's so lovely to see. It's so heartwarming. You just see them parading around wherever they are. Majority of them have got their kilts on. They've got their Scotland strip, T-shirt strip on. And as a result of them taking over Boston, now Boston is twinned with Glasgow. So this is like, I don't know whether this is something that you're familiar with, but twinning cities so that you've got some cultural heritage. So there was a group of fans that couldn't afford to stay in Boston and they were staying in Providence, which was actually...
Rhode Island.
Yeah, so they were staying in Rhode Island and they were commuting. And the thing was, I think they drank the place dry. But apparently a lot of the pubs, they clubbed together and they've donated about $10,500 to a hospital in Scotland, a children's hospital in Scotland.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, and it's
That's
lovely. And I think also... I think there was also a group of fans that had actually gone to a children's hospital with bagpipes and stuff like that in a hospital locally in the US just to kind of cheer people up and do a bit of fundraising and stuff like that. There's been some really lovely stories.
But that's what it's all about. The World Cup is supposed to bring nations together, countries together. You talk about twinning, it's like Boston and Ireland. You've got so many Irish in Boston, or I didn't know Scotland and what's it called, Rhode Island. You said Providence, Rhode Island.
Providence. I mean, yeah.
State of Rhode Island.
Yeah.
But listen, there's lovely stories coming out of the World Cup, and it's always the case, which we like to talk about. These are positive things.
Yeah.
On such an international event, at such a massive stage worldwide, the Scottish people are giving their country a great name and a reputation.
Yeah.
Japanese, blah blah blah. And I'm not going to get into it, but I'm just saying to you, I'd love to have an Indian team.
Exactly. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you
An
read my
Indian
thoughts.
teammate. I swear to God, and you've got Indians all around the
More.
world. That's another thing I told Yash, by the way. He mentioned that wherever he goes and plays, he puts it out on social media. And you've got Indian people that come and watch him and support him, right?
Yeah.
You know, but you know what, Merv, we don't have to actually wait till we have a competitor from India at these global events.
Like?
We can show the way when we go there as spectators and be like the Japanese and start cleaning up after ourselves, behave properly. We get noticed that way too.
That's a good suggestion, Ajay. I don't think it'll happen. It's sad because you have a lot of the more negative connotated actions that are being spotlighted around the world, and it's nice to do something nice and have your country. You represent your country in a positive light.
Absolutely.
Yash Fadte, mate. Hashtag Yash Fadte. I want to get some goddamn shirts. Because I love squash, by the way. I really want somebody to reach out and help out. And I hope our little show, can do a little bit to help make that happen. Somebody out there says, hey, Yash, we want to help, dude. Message me, call me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Message me, call me. We want to help out. You know what I'm saying? Financially, whatever. My sister Paula jumped at it. And if he's in the States, she says, I'm in. I will put him together with really introducing to top level coaches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what the government of India should be doing. But you've got very, very good, very, very kind people from India, or anybody around the world. If you ever listen to the show and you hear the show and you can reach out, his name is Yash, Fadte. Reach out to him on social media. This is your opportunity to have somebody who's already at that level because of true passion, because of true hard work. And he's good. He loves it, right? I would love to see him at the Olympics.
Absolutely. I've just remembered we didn't even give him a T-shirt. How ridiculous is that? We've got loads of T-shirts. We could have
We
given
need to start
him.
giving them away. We can give them. We'll give it to him when he comes here next. We're going to have him on the show again. I love to talk about these positive, heartwarming stories where people are helping and representing their the places of origin.
Yeah.
And it's a nice thing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
What else do you want to talk about? We're gonna run out of time very soon, Joanne.
The
What do you want to talk
award.
about?
The
Can we talk
award.
about something fun?
The award.
What award? No, the Padma Shri is going to be my last thing we talk about.
Okay.
I want to talk about the escaped giraffe. We're talking about this thing, the Merlin, the ducky.
Yeah.
There was an escaped giraffe outwits Texas for 2 weeks. A giraffe on the run from a private ranch in Texas Hill County Country has been evading both the owner and local official for nearly 2 weeks and counting. The U.S. News and World Report. Listen, how hard is it to hide a flipping giraffe?
I was going to say.
How
yeah.
dumb do you have to be to? No, I can't say. I'm joking. What happened? Missing from a ranch, a Texas ranch spotted by a helicopter. How funny is that, dude?
But that's a Fox story. Is that real?
I think no, it has to be real.
No, I'm
And-
saying
and-
Fox Local. You know what they're like.
As long as they're not brandishing the giraffe as a terrorist, I'm fine with that. But I'll tell you what, I feel for that giraffe. He must have been having such a good time.
Can you imagine, dude?
Oh man.
Not being in any enclosure.
know.
It's sweet. I love these kind of animal stories. Punch the monkey story. I
Yeah.
hope he's well. We haven't spoken about Punch in a while, but I'm sure he's grown up and he's got a house and a mortgage and a family and a car and a new car and all kinds of problems. Sorry, Punch.
But what about this New York Knicks prediction? The guy
Knicks one.
with the yearbook.
Joanne, I don't know how to. It's very hard to believe this. New York man's yearbook prediction goes viral. A New Yorker wrote in Knicks in 6 in 2026 NBA Finals. In his high school yearbook 6 years ago, is now extremely smug and extremely violent. It's hard. I want evidence. I want to see his yearbook. I want to make sure it's
There's
authentic.
photographs of it.
I mean, it's hard to believe. The Knicks won. The New York Knicks won the.
Why is it hard to believe that you didn't write it?
No. I'm more annoyed because I am. There he is. Yeah. What's his name? What's the dude's name?
I don't know.
His name is Evan Pfeiffer or Fufer. It's spelled Pfeufer, and he's
Pfeiffer.
from Long Island.
Foofer.
Yeah,
Foofer.
and now he's a salesman. In fact,
That's nice. Aaron, you wrote this 6 years ago. I
Yeah.
hope you can send me a message. Tell me what the lottery number
so he
is.
said I could have had Knicks in 5 in 25 or Knicks in 7 in 27. He said, but I guess I got the year right.
Good for him. That's very nice.
That's pretty cool that he got this right. He writes
Yeah.
it right there. Evan W. Pfeiffer, right?
Foofer.
Pfeiffer. Knicks in 6, 2026 NBA Finals. He could have written anything.
You'll
Yeah.
never be a rapper, dude. You will never. I told you, you'll never be a rapper.
Mate.
Knicks in 6 in 26.
There you go.
Yeah, because he said, they were doing terrible at the time when he'd actually written that.
Forget it.
I
Tell with the
think-
Knicks. The Knicks did very well. Congratulations to all the Knicks fans. I'm more pissed off because the Spurs lost. They had it in the bag. They had every opportunity. 29 points. I'm not going to get into it because I'm going to end up jumping out of the window. 29-point lead. They had so many glaring errors in a game that could have gone so different, changed the history, the outcome of the winner. Anyway, I blame the coaching staff, but they've got all the talent in the world, and they just gave it away. 2-3 of the games just given away after always starting off ahead. Poor clock management, poor team management. Anyway, congratulations to the Knicks fans and all the players. They killed it, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, let's end on a very, very high note.
Yeah.
Joanne, you were really into this story, and I'm so glad we can talk about
Yeah.
it.
This is one of Neil's stories, and I think it's just fantastic that he got this.
So the Padma Shri Award is one of the highest awards it's a recognition of a lifetime. It's given away by the President of India.
Yeah.
This gentleman, Muhammad Sharif,
Yeah.
he's a very unassuming, understated person.
A cycle mechanic.
Yeah, that's exactly what. But that's what blows your mind, right?
Yeah.
They called him Sharif Chacha. I made a joke about it. Sharif Chacha won one of the highest, the biggest, best accolades. Talk about this guy.
So it says that he's dedicated decades of his life performing the final rites for 25,000 unclaimed bodies.
Wow.
So he said, regardless of their religious background, so he is known as the savior of the unclaimed.
Wow.
So it's about an amazing humanitarian mission after he suffered the tragic loss of his son, and then he became committed to ensuring that forgotten souls actually had a dignified burial or a dignified funeral, which is just amazing, isn't it? Just so lovely.
But I think this happened some time back, because I can see a picture of the former president giving him an award. It is not the current president.
Whatever the case, it's a good story that y'all pointed out. I don't know who pulled it. Well done, Neil. Thanks for being a day late and a dollar short. The fact of the matter remains, it can take anybody. It doesn't make a difference who you are. You don't have to be famous and rich. This is an effing cycle mechanic who works his ass off.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And as we talked about, who was that guy that he should bring water to the animals? And I love that story. I said, we have to talk about that one. You remember that Punjab dude? He used to take his tanker, his water tanker once a couple of times a week.
Yeah, it goes up the mountain.
Yeah, but I'm saying to win a Padma Shri award, Mr. Sharif, Mr. Muhammad Sharif, to do something so selfless and just go and spend your time in his old age to be able to mate, that kudos to you, mate. Well, he deserves it.
Yeah.
These are all the heroes of India, real heroes.
Yeah.
And these are normally, Ajay, they would go unsung, right? Nobody
Yes.
would know about it, right? Unless he won the award. There's loads of people doing great things, and that's what our show is all about. Highlighting these topics and making these people known. These are people that make us proud to be Indians. But that's exactly why we do the show.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I'm tired. I want to go. I want to call it a day. I am so excited because we will be airing a live broadcast show with Rohit Monserrate
Yeah.
next Sunday.
Indeed.
Joanne, you actually mentioned something that I don't think we've promoted enough, is to have viewers send us questions. I'd love.
Absolutely.
Neil, can we do an award? Can we do? I want to do drinks with the mayor. We're doing a conversation with the mayor. I wanted to drink the person who sends in like the smartest, the smartest or the best question.
Well, one of those great places we went to a few weeks ago down in Panchayat.
There you
That
go.
would be nice.
Oh yeah. For the pub crawl.
Yeah. It wasn't about that, Mervyn.
What? It wasn't about that. It was everything about.
It was a cultural visit.
We're going to be talking to him. We're going to sit down and have a candid. We should call that the candid conversation
You can indeed.
with the mayor of Panjim. He will be on the show. I'm going to be asking him some tough questions, and it's a good thing. It's a breath of fresh air because he's a young guy, and he's got a huge road ahead of him.
Yeah.
And we talk about this on the show, and we've done many shows in the past where we've had young politicians, the guy Rajiv in the Raj Sabha, on the local, I don't know what one, where they're young people that need to get involved and make the change.
Yeah.
We are tired. We're sick and tired of complaining.
Yeah.
He's another generation of politician. Whatever your views may be, we're going to sit down with him and have a conversation. So if you've got questions to ask, let us know. He'll be on the show next week, yeah?
Well, we can basically put out a post as well, and we can encourage people to.
Neil,
ask
get it done,
questions.
dude. You've got this happening, Neil. People can send in questions, right, on our social media handles. Ajay, let's put up our social media handles today. I forgot to mention our telephone number.
Oh.
Well done, you guys. On any of our social media handles, you can check out historical shows, previous shows, more about our team. Check out our website, themervbrittoshow.com. But if you want to ask Rohit a question, you can call it in. The number is 750-724-6246. You can post it on the social media handles. We'll include it in our conversation with our candid conversation with the mayor of Panjim, Mr. Rohit Monserrate, next week. Check out more information. Ladies and gentlemen, we love the support. We really appreciate you guys tuning in and showing us the love and following and all. Leave us a like, share, click the button to check out more information about what we do. But tell people about it. The subscribe button is what I meant to say. The bell icon, but tell more people about what we're doing. More importantly than anything, this show is done as a labor of love. Politics is a dirty word. It's sadly it's not something that more people want to get into it because of the connotation, the negative connotation. And I'm glad this guy's got the balls. He's looking. I've got nothing to hide. I'll sit and talk to you, Merv, and I can be a can of worms. I can be a handful. But he's been willing to sit down and talk to me and speak about anything you want to ask him about.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Absolutely.
He's not giving you a list and this I'll talk about. I won't talk about this. You can ask me. You won't. He's said to me, you want to sit down and talk to me? Here it is. Let's do this. Next week, the 5th.
Yeah.
He'll be on the show.
Well,
Yeah.
Merv, do you want to take a few comments, view comments from from last week's
Oh, yeah,
episode?
please.
We'd like
That'll be lovely, dude. We have time?
Yes, we have.
I'm hungry, Ajoy.
Yeah, a few minutes. We're looking for it. 1 second.
Joanne, I've got a list of questions that I want to ask Rohit, but I'd love to have a contest where somebody can come and have a drink at one of the local pubs or bars in Panjim for asking the best question. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Get the public involved. Don't talk about it. You guys there's a lot of people out there that sit on their couches and do nothing.
Yeah, of course.
What do they call the couch warriors? The keyboard warriors?
Keyboard warriors, yeah.
But young people that are actually getting into politics, like this guy, need the support. They need to understand what he's doing, how he's doing, and what his plans are.
Yeah.
Right or wrong, whether you agree or disagree, air your opinions, point fingers, ask questions, but get involved. Do something.
Absolutely. I think I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to it because it would just be nice to actually hear, really from somebody who is actually, doing the full 9 yards and actually walking the walk and actually doing the job. Because we do a lot of talking around it, but we don't know day to day how hard or how straightforward getting any of these policies through actually is. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to it. I think it'd be great.
People like to complain. They like to talk and complain about everything that they disagree with. And just like I've mentioned a million times, just like a butthole, everybody's got an opinion. And it's sad because when you actually have people stand up and do something, everybody wants to pull them down like crabs in a basket. But the fact of the matter remains, you need to see this change. Justice Rebello, Enough's Enough, Yash, Fadte, all these guys. Who's that 14-year-old kid who's killing it? Something Vaz.
Ivan, isn't it? Is it Ivan?
Oh my God. Who's the kid? Evan Vaz.
Yeah.
All of these people require your support.
Merv,
Yes, Baba.
here's the comments. Just read.
अरे एक वरा लगता है मतलब तुका एक फोटा लो हाँ. The comments were this thing directed towards the Yash episode?
Yes,
Read it
correct.
out, Baba.
Yes, so Ishwar Bhatt says they have a cooperative sports model with the government and the clubs. Clubs just pay maintenance fee for the use of high quality, high standard grounds used by the clubs and public. Players can just pay very little that includes maintenance and coaching. That is usually very cheap.
That doesn't, well, fine and dandy. What I'm just saying to you, you want to put somebody on a world level, on an international level, they're going to need more than just cheap rates. There's a lot of things, and he mentioned them, the training, the travel, the expenses to stay, blah, blah, hotels, coaching staff, blah. Mate, all of these other countries support them and give them 100% carte blanche. Do what you want. You focus on winning. Let us take care of the bill. We'll pick up the bill because we've got the money, right?
Yeah.
And that's all we're saying. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse. I'm just saying that if you ever want to put a team in the World Cup,
Yeah.
If you-
Wolfit Moses says, I share the same situation with Yash. Goa's sporting culture slowly decaying due to the inefficiency and poor support for elite athletes by the state associations. It took 6 years for the sports authority and association to pay me for all the representations I have done, and I'm yet to receive more. More than a decade I have been in the field and I've never been treated worse by anyone other than my own state association.
Dear.
This year, however, I said enough is enough.
See, that's a goddamn crime. Who's the guy? Mention the guy's name. Mention his name, dude, because this is the kind of people that we're not making this shit up. You know what? It's not just something we talk about.
Yeah, that's
This
such
is
a
Joanne, this
shame.
happens and continues to happen, and that's why I do the show.
Yeah.
That's why we do the show. That's why the show is so. This is a passion to me because I can't do anything else to help. Right?
His name is Wolfgang Moses. He's an athlete and founder of athlist.co. I don't know what.
Sprinter.
He's a sprinter, basically. Oh.
But he's giving up, dude.
Shame.
Yeah, it's sad.
Moses, mate, brother, my friend, we were lucky enough to come across Yash, and I'm sad that I didn't get a chance to speak to you, or I'd love to speak to you on the telephone, or you call in. Thank you for sending in your comments, and it's an absolute shame that out of frustration you finally said, this is him?
Yes, this is Wolfgang Moses.
Wolfgang Moses. Scroll down. I can't see the top of it, dude. You're cutting it out.
No.
Is it a static? whatever. You
yeah.
guys are making it worse. What I'm saying to you is it's an absolute damn shame that somebody's reached this level and dedicated so much of their time and life and worked so hard, and you're giving up because you know what? It's not going to happen here. You're not getting the support from the local authorities,
Yeah.
and this poor guy's going to give up.
Yeah, I think even Evan was in that article I was reading.
That's Moses.
Yeah, that's Moses.
Sorry, Joe.
No, I was just going to say, in that article about Evan, his parents are saying they really have to give gratitude to his grandparents who all, supported him and donated money in order for him to fulfill, his dreams so far. And I'm sure that's probably what's happened with Wolfgang as well. You rely on the generosity of family and friends. And it really is sad.
It's a damn shame.
Really terrible.
It's a damn shame.
But Joy, that's the point that I'm trying to make, or that's the point we're trying to make, is the reason we're doing the show, right? It continues to happen. It continues to happen year in, year out, every decades. It's happened forever, right? And you've lost so many people by the wayside. You've got some really, not just squash and chess and a sprinter. I'm just talking about a football team or a hockey team or cricket. Cricket, no, to hell with them. They've got enough help. It's known enough. But you've got really talented cricketers that could potentially make the Indian cricket team or play on a world stage. People don't even have boots and shoes and cleats and all this kind of stuff, right? It takes a lot, Joanne.
Of course.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
And you need that level of top-class training, help, support, mentorship. You need so much to make you get to that stage. And he's there. Yash is there. And he's still having to beg and he's still having to ask. And luckily, he's got parents with deep pockets. But your government should be begging and saying, hey, how can I help you succeed? You don't worry about anything else. You worry about your sport.
Yep.
You keep doing well. And when you get up on that podium, mention our names. Make India proud. Make Goa proud.
Yeah.
And that's what the sports minister should be thinking. That's what all these goddamn, and it's more egos. It's the infighting. Come in, make a big deal. Why should you have to kiss any MLA's ass to get money coming to you? Anyway, I could talk till the cows come home. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been tuned to the Merv Britto Show. Thank you for tuning in to us. We've come to the end of another show. Joanne, you didn't do any shout-outs.
I was just about to.
Get out of here.
So basically, cousin Simon, it was his birthday yesterday.
Which cousin Simon?
And cousin Dominic, it's birthday tomorrow.
Dominic!
Yeah, so Dominic and
Simon?
Simon.
Oh.
So Simon's his cousin, so their mums are sisters. And Simon was born 2 days before Dominic. And
Dom's a legend, dude.
love them.
And I love his wife,
Caroline. Yeah.
And George. SBs when he was a kid. He's a big boy now.
He's at university now, man.
I know, dude. But he's always he was so well brought up. Instead of saying yes, please, he would say SBs. It's Dom's birthday. Happy birthday, Dom. For one day.
So happy birthday, Simon, for yesterday. Simon's the one who just got married a few weeks ago. Happy birthday, Dom, for tomorrow. Hope you both have a really happy, healthy year ahead. And also one of my gorgeous, gorgeous friends, Chris, who's part of my BBC family. He's going to be 50 this week also.
Chris is 50.
Love him.
The same Chris. He's going to be 50 years old. Chris, you're getting up there. He's a good-looking cat, though. God bless you all. Happy birthday to all of you guys. By the way, Dom, I remember the party we went to after something. You and me and your mom went to their house. It
was after Phil's 70th
birthday.
Yeah.
And they were drinking up a storm and he was singing. And it was so funny. One of the best times ever. I love the Gardner family. They're great people.
He had a...
Air guitar.
He air guitar with a sweeping broom, wasn't it?
They were good. They're such a lovely, warm family. We love them all. Ladies and gentlemen, it's brought us to
England.
Okay.
Come on, England.
Against who? Cape Verde. No. Who is it? Who's it playing?
Yeah. Who are they?
She's drawing a blank. Oh my God.
DR Congo, Republic of Congo.
Oh, they're not. Congo is pretty good.
Yeah, I know, but they're not as good as Senegal. So
when is the game?
It's on Wednesday.
Oh my God! So I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna be late to work on Thursday.
I'm gonna take the day off, I reckon.
It's so much fun, by the way. It's so exciting about having the World Cup. I just wish it was better timing, and you could get together with a bunch of people at our local pubs and bars and watch the games. We used to do it at Cantare, and it was an absolute blast.
Yeah.
Because you had a big crowd and the booze and the drinks and the big screen, and it was so much fun. Late nights and anyway, to all you people out there, we love the fact that you've tuned in and supported us, and I still still thank you every time I meet people out there that say some very, very nice, very kind things to me about the show. I don't do this on my own. It takes a village, and I thank these guys all the time. Ajoy, Willie, all of you guys, Neil, Yusuf, Joanne, I can't do this without you, but I really do appreciate the support. If you can, if you like what we do, support us. Our social media sites, don't bring them up again. I've already mentioned them. I was just saying, leave us a like, share. I'd love to hear some of your questions that you'd like to hear asked of the mayor.
Yes, indeed.
Next week, he will be on the show. Candid conversation with the mayor of Panjim, Rohit Monserrate.
So we need to get the questions in between now and Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the questions as soon as possible, and I'll ask him. I'll choose the questions. I've got a list of questions of my own. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Blah, 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 blah.
I'm tired. I'm hungry. That brings us to the end of another show. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. My name is Merv Britto.
Independence Day also in the US on Saturday, the 4th, no?
Of July.
My nana's birthday that day.
That's the 4th. That's next month, dude.
That's next Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
No, there's 4th of July though. You're a bit behind, no?
Neil. Anyway, again, for the
Star
75th
Wars.
time, that was Star Wars. For the 75th time, my name is Merv Britto, and on behalf of the team, I hope you've enjoyed yourself and we've lightened your day and put a smile on your face. Until next Sunday, with our episode with Rohit Monserrate, I hope you have a great week. And as my friend Telly Savalas once said,
Who loves you, baby?